I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. Today, as promised, I'm going to show you a little bit about my makeup selections for the Sephora sale. I don't have a lot. There's not a lot of new products coming out, and the few that are, I'm not too interested in. And a sale is not an opportunity to buy things that you wouldn't otherwise buy. At the same time, there is no shame in buying the thing that you always wanted that maybe came out 6 months ago. And maybe you didn't get it at the holiday sale, but you're still hankering for it. For instance, two of my very favorite palettes are the Tropic palette and, what's it called? The Safari palette. Yay and yay. I love these palettes. This one, the Tropic especially. I don't like the last row, but the two first rows are just amazing. They're great for daily wear. So those are on sale. Viseart is also on sale, so you just get the sale and the 20% off. One of them is the Soleil palette, which I might get again. I sent it back because there's only 3 shades I loved in there, but now that the price is so low, I might be getting that one again. But let's start at the beginning. I've already done my skincare video, and I don't do primer, so it's foundation first. The 3 newest foundations to my collection, but not the newest foundations out there, are the Bite Micellar Water, not Micellar Water, Changemaker Micellar blah 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 blah. I tested this and really liked it in L30, but I bought L40 because I was testing it probably around January, where I was probably at my lightest. And as we go into spring and summer, even though I wear sunscreen every single day, there's a good chance I'm going to get a little bit darker, and this is it. And in the meantime, I just mix it with this Chanel LeBlanc. The Makeup Forever Reboot, I love this. It looks so skin-like. And same thing, I think I got it in Y255, but I bought it in Y315 because I need something to grow into as the weather changes, and I mix it with the LeBlanc. Love this one. I would say of these two, this one is a medium coverage. Your mileage may vary. Your interpretation of what medium is could be different than mine, and this is light medium. You're not going to get a lot of coverage from this. It can build a little bit, but if you have something really sticking out, you're going to probably want to go to a concealer. And then the Kevyn Aucoin, I love this so much, Etherealist. I think I got this at the August sale. I haven't used too much. Here's the deal. Every time you use it, you can see this pump going up, and every time I use it, I think, oh my God, I'm that much closer to this being gone. I love this so much. I find the coverage to be pretty solid medium. It does something. It has like light reflecting qualities, and it really does. The color is great for me. Really bad color selection, but it kind of doesn't matter. If one of the colors is really good for you, you know, you can't be a snot about it. Love this one. Comfortable. No issues at all. So that's my foundations. The sun, again, it's cloudy. It looks like it might rain, so the sun is in and out and the light will be changing. Oh, and while we're at it, I did something under my eye here. I used the Baby Facial Sukari blah 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 from Drunk Elephant yesterday. I might have gotten some under my eyes. I don't think I did. But when I put on my copper peptides, I could feel a little bit of a sting, and it just looks really, really wild under this eye. So I'm trying to be a little further back from the camera. But that's what's going on. While we're talking about concealer, when you got something like this going on, it's really, really tough. Concealer is really, really tough for me in the first place because I do have that darkness under my eyes and puffiness and deep trough. There's a lot going on here. My most recent find, and I've been using the most, is the Flawless Fusion from Laura Mercier in N1, and it's good. Here's the deal. I'm looking for the unicorn. I'm looking for something that will give me absolutely fantastic coverage that will not crease in my trough. And hopefully it doesn't even need to be powdered. So I don't want a real shiny finish, because that shine on top of this puffiness just calls your attention to it. But if it does need powder, suddenly I won't look worse. I don't know if that exists. My hunt continues. And this doesn't do all of those things, but it's really good, and it's my favorite at the moment. Prior to that favorite, it was the Giorgio Armani. This is the, well, I'll put it right here. I like this for many months. I think I probably wore it for about 6 months, but all of a sudden, it looked very, very yellow on me. And I think what happened was I started to get more pale, and suddenly it just looked wrong. So I needed to find something else, and that's where the Flawless Fusion came in. And I also have, I have a lot of concealers, you guys. The Bendy Avocado I like. There's not huge coverage, but this is not drying, and it's not sticky. It doesn't have a goopiness to it. It feels comfortable, and it's a decent price. Worst case scenario, and I often use it this way, if I am dark around my 11s, I will put a little there. I'll put some around my nose. When we do those little tricks to get rid of the redness, this is the one I'll go to because it's not as thick as other concealers and blends in very nicely, and it's just enough for those little red bits. So that's my concealer picks. Now, I don't wear bronzer every day. I almost never wear contour, but I have one from the drugstore that I like when I do. I do like, and I have tried, the Charlotte Tilbury contour, and that's a maybe. I might put that in my basket. I also kind of think if there's a time to spend almost $90 on a contour on the Tom Ford Shade and Light, this would be the time. Naturally, it's sold out, and I can't help but thinking how certain things sell out right before the sale starts because they don't want to sell it at that price. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Moving on to blush, I bought this Ilia in Dreamer the other day, and I really, really like it, you guys. It's quite subtle. This is the color on me, but it's a different look for me, and I like it. Now, I can't tell if this is as pigmented as, for instance, the nude sticks. The color is quite different, so of course it shows up differently on the skin. I have a feeling, though, the nude sticks is more coverage. You use less of this, where this kind of go ham. I have used this with my brush, my Duo Fiber. I've used it kind of just blotting it on the skin, and I've used it with a beauty blender. If you don't want any pickup, beauty blender probably the best way to go. But fingers, not so bad either. Duo Fiber, I just don't feel like I'm getting enough pigmentation on that. But it feels a little more emollient than the nude sticks, and I really like it. If you want something that's green, the Ilia might be a way for you to go. For lips, where'd my lips go? Oh, they're right on my face. Okay, for lips, I am not much for gloss. I don't think gloss is always appropriate, and most gloss, bleh. Notice how I called it glop? That's because I find most glosses to be gloppy and really sticky, and I feel their weight on my lips, and that's a feeling that I don't like. So I have some glosses, but they're like, My favorite kind of glosses are not really glosses. There's these kind of things. They're more like balms. They have some good shine to them. And if you like that, by the way, you might want to check out the Revlon product, which, don't you love how the drugstore stuff put all these labels on and you can't get the sticky stuff off, so it looks tragically 15 years old? But this is a really nice product. About the same look as the Dior's, but I digress. Glosses. I have recently bought this Viseart. It's only $19 anyway. Such a comfortable gloss, such an unusual formula. I spoke about it I did a palette, an eyeshadow palette, and I added this into it. I can't remember what it was, but really, really worth checking out if there's a color there of the 4 that they have that works for you. Love this. I want more colors in this. And then also Pat McGrath. This is not new, but I finally tried it. Very comfortable. I like the Viseart a little bit more, but this is also lovely. The Viseart 19, 29, better deal, more colors. You decide. For the gloss arena, these two are comfortable if you're sensitive. Another thing that I do not wear every day is highlighter. Right now I have some glossy look on my face, which is probably a combination of the ilia and, frankly, my skincare. So, you know, I start kind of shiny in the first place, but when I do, this is the one I have loved for almost a year. That's a long run for me. I would say 99.9% of the time I'm wearing a highlighter. I'm wearing this. This is the original Spotlight. And I just think it's such a good color for me. I'm going to put it on and talk. But I do 2 dots and then blend it out. If you like, for instance, for a subtle look, the Laura Mercier Baked Powder, I think they're calling it, in 01, it's kind of the same color, but it's a little bit more high. I'm a highlighter. But it's not screaming high, I'm a highlighter. So it's like natural +1. Or amped up just 1 degree. And I just think it's lovely. It doesn't pick up your base. And I like to put some right here. I like to keep this area a little bit light. Holy moly, do I have a gray eyebrow hair? Yeah. Love this. And the contour I was speaking about is in this same component. Everybody complains about this sponge thing. I really like it. I don't know what the problem is. Highlighter. Now for palettes, there are no new palettes. And as I said in the beginning, there is no shame in buying a palette that came out 6 months ago if it's something you wanted and you missed it in a holiday sale. Or if you just want to treat yourself to a little bit of color, because all of these are nice and fine, but sometimes we need a pick-me-up. And for me, the 2 best pick-me-ups, it used to be lipstick, but it doesn't really do it for me anymore. Maybe I just can't find the right color that changes my life. So now it's palettes. And the one palette that I really, really like, and I don't regret buying, I don't use it very often because I'm trying so much makeup all the time, but it's the Natasha Denona Love Palette. Now, if you were to consider this, there goes the plastic, compared to the Sunrise palette. The Sunrise palette has some burgundy colors, an orange-ish, a couple of yellows that go towards the orange-ish way, and maybe a peach. You could do a peach all over and then a peach shimmer on top of that. Or you could do a yellow and a peach. But there's really not 2 colorways in that as far as I'm concerned. If you want to use like 4 colors, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a peach look in there or even a yellow look in there. It kind of runs on the maroonish area. What I like about this, one of the things I like about this is there are definitely, absolutely 2 colorways. There's a purple and a pink. And added benefit, you can get a red look out of this. In fact, I did a video on a red look, which nobody saw, but I had gone to Nordstrom's wearing this. I made a red look, and as I walked through the cosmetics department, like 3 essays going, "Oh, I love your red eye." So I got a lot of compliments on that. I love this. Now the Metropolis palette, which I love the colors, but I couldn't make those cream to powders work on me. They absolutely rubbed off the center of my eye after maybe 20 minutes. And that sometimes happens if you're hooded. In this formula, I'm not experiencing the same problem. Now it could be because I think only this and this are that formula. And this is way too dark for me to put all over my lid. But I'm sure I did the lavender, and I didn't find that it did that. I don't know if they changed the formula, or maybe I changed my application. But it's making me, honestly, it's making me think I might want to try the Metropolis again. But this Natasha Denona Love Palette, it would be the one that I would recommend. I had recently reviewed, I think, 4 different palettes. Her Mini Retro, the Viseart, the Dior, and wow, I can't remember what the other one was. But I did those in the last couple of days to show you what they look like, how they work, especially on the crepeys, just to give you an idea of maybe you're interested in getting those. But for me, if I were to recommend something, aside from those, this would be the one that I would recommend. And you know what else I like about it? The pinks are, they're so unusual. I have some pinks in other palettes. I do like pink. But these, I don't have these in other places. So yeah, that's going to wrap up my makeup. It's not a lot, and that's it. I'm just keeping it pretty small, just the things that I really like or the things that I have been using. To give you some ideas, there's a couple of things I haven't mentioned that are in my cart, but I don't know if they will make it all the way to the checkout. So we'll talk about that sometime next week. And the sale lasts for a while. So right now it's the Rouge, and then it'll be the VIB, and then it'll be the Insider. So I didn't feel the need to check out immediately. And I'm waiting for a couple of things to come into stock, hopefully, fingers crossed. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. In the meantime, stay safe, stay smart, and until we meet again, I'm wishing you good health.